Coming up on Mountain News this morning, how a lawsuit is revealing more details about Amber Spradlin's murder in Floyd County. And a look at legislation that would require animal control officers to be trained on the signs of child abuse and report it.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good Monday morning to you. I'm Caroline Mueller here with you on this January 19th. The time is now 5:31. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I'm happy to share I spent very little time outside this weekend.
I am also happy to report that I did the exact same thing. I stayed inside away from those cold temperatures, only really walking a short distance to my car and back inside. But in terms of what you can see this morning, it's another cold day with some upper 20s for most folks. Now it's a little bit chillier as you head closer to Virginia. 23 degrees right now in Clintwood, 18 in Wise and Jonesville, 23 in Logan. And thankfully, as we head into the afternoon, there's some improvements of those temperatures, but not by a crazy amount. I mean, we're only talking upper 20s and low 30s for the warmest parts of the day, with feels like temperatures even colder as our winds are definitely picking up to start off the week. Now, another thing to note is we're looking at a little bit of clouds here in the region. Don't mind it popping out in the last second. They're still there. And then we do have a little bit of some flurry chances just north of the region. I won't expect them really to travel into eastern Kentucky, with the exception of maybe Rowan County and Elliott County. Overall, though, it's going to be a rather calm start with highs around 3 p.m. Caroline.
Megan, thank you. A man is dead after a crash in Pulaski County. Deputies were called to a single vehicle crash just before noon Friday off of Highway 3264 in Science Hill. They believe the crash likely happened overnight. A man was found in a creek a short distance from a vehicle that went over an embankment. 32-year-old Casey Wilson of Science Hill was pronounced dead at the scene. The exact cause of death is not known, but deputies say foul play is not suspected. A Southern Kentucky cold case 40 years after a teenager was killed. A Lincoln County mother is still seeking justice after her son was killed by a hit-and-run driver. It happened in November of 1985, not long after WYMT signed on the air. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to Jeffrey McQueen's mother, who hopes that one day she will finally have the answers she's been looking for.
From his first birthday on.
A lifetime of memories.
But that was his last picture.
That only lasted 15 years.
I just don't know. I don't know how anybody could hit him and kept going.
Joanna Elliott says her son Jeffrey McQueen was walking home after hanging out with friends following a high school football game. Never made it to their Stanford house.
And what was his last memories that he had laying there?
Jeffrey was killed when police say a driver hit him and did not stop.
I couldn't believe that anybody would have done that. It was really hard to imagine somebody hitting him and just keep going.
The case has generated a lot of questions, speculation, even rumors on exactly what took place. It was even the subject of a special coroner's inquiry in the 1990s, but nothing has led to an arrest or any kind of conclusion to bring justice to the fact that a 15-year-old was tragically killed in this part of Lincoln County.
That coroner's inquest did rule it an accident, but investigators told Elliott it was still a homicide. She says she just wants to find out who did it.
If they did that so many years ago and was scared, I wouldn't hold it against them. I just want to know what happened.
Hoping to find answers to fill in that empty page in this book, and possibly in her heart as well.
How they could put me through this much misery. How could they just not come forward and told about it? How did they live with herself?
Ending that mystery would be peace to her and possibly to the suspect as well. In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Local police officer Rob Winnie has devoted a recent podcast to the cold case. We have more information on that on WYMT's news app and WYMT.com. The Amber Spradlin murder trial is expected to begin in 2 months, but her family is also focused on another legal battle. Spradlin's aunt is representing her in a lawsuit against several co-defendants, including past and present officials with the city of Prestonsburg and the Floyd County Fiscal Court. Though defense attorneys claim immunity for the officials, an attorney for Spradlin claims they failed her and created a dangerous system when the city took over 911 calls. The attorney is pushing for a trial and released more information surrounding the morning of her murder, which you can find on her website. In Wayne County, West Virginia, customers of Wayne Water and Sewer are being told not to drink or cook with city water until further notice. This is as a precaution after an oil leak early last week. Vandalism at a mine power substation caused transformer oil to leak into waterways. The town is flushing the lines and are providing water to customers who need it at Wayne Town Hall.
We are advising folks not to use the water for internal consumption as a precautionary measure as we continue testing and as the DEP continues to clean up the water.
The administrator with the Wayne County Health Department says the DEP has been doing testing on the water hourly, and there have been no positive tests for petroleum, and there's no reason to believe anyone has consumed anything dangerous. Senator Mitch McConnell says nearly $5 million is coming to Martin County, and it will help modernize a wastewater treatment plant. Officials say the facility is in desperate need of maintenance. This is part of $540 million secured for Kentucky in a federal funding bill. The measure now goes to President Trump to be signed into law. Congressman Hal Rogers also says nearly $40 million is also included for various community projects in eastern Kentucky. It includes $20 million for new communications equipment for first responders, $7.5 million for the Morehead State Space Science Center's Payload Operations Center, and $2 million for Operation Unite to continue substance abuse prevention and treatment projects. Congressman Rogers says the bill also includes $135 million for the abandoned mine land economic revitalization program, $200 million for the Appalachian Regional Commission, and protects $610 million for a new federal prison in Letcher County, which is expected to create more than 300 new jobs. A new law, if passed in Kentucky, aims to protect children and animals. House Bill 246, or Kyan's Law, is named after 10-year-old Kyan Higgins, who police say was killed by his mother. Animal control officers had been called to his home dozens of times before his death. Experts say animal cruelty and child abuse often go hand in hand. Kyan's Law would require animal control officers across Kentucky to be trained to recognize signs of abuse and neglect. Officials believe this could help uncover abuse and potentially save lives. In a region that is often defined by struggles, new data shows that progress is being made within several areas of child well-being in eastern Kentucky. But there are also some alarming statistics. WMT's McKinley Calandrino spoke to officials with Kentucky youth advocates.
According to data collected from Kentucky Advocates for Kids, Perry County is seeing progress in several areas of child well-being. Executive Director Terry Brooks says based on the Kids Count report card, both Hazard Independent and Perry County school districts show improvements in 4th grade reading and 8th grade math, along with other key indicators.
Perry County kids improved in 16 of those 20 indicators during the last period of time. That's really good news. They declined in 3 and they stayed the same in 1. So it's important to celebrate the improvement.
While the improvement is encouraging, economic well-being continues to be a pressure point for eastern Kentucky families.
When I look at the data, though, what jumps out is that whereas about 20% of kids live in poverty, 37% of kids in Perry County live in poverty. The idea that it's almost twice the state rate, that's a problem.
Brooks says that childhood poverty impacts every aspect of a child's life, including education, health, and family stability, and could potentially lead to declines in other areas.
If childhood poverty is intensifying, then we know what's coming. We know that health indicators, education indicators, marks around family stability, we know that they're going to decline in the coming years.
Brooks says turning those numbers around is possible, and it starts with policy.
So if I was living in Perry County or more broadly Eastern Kentucky, I'd be reaching out to my state representative and my state senator and saying, hey, you know the most persistent and pernicious issue that our kids face is poverty. Are you going to do something about it?
In Perry County, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
To see a full list of the statistics, just find the story on our website at WYMT.com or the WYMT News app. Governor Beshear is heading to Europe this week. He'll visit Finland and Sweden. The governor will also attend the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. The goal is to bring more investment, jobs, and economic growth to Kentucky. This trip follows a record year for the Commonwealth. Kentucky secured $10.5 billion in new private sector investments last year. Those projects are expected to create nearly 9,600 new full-time jobs. Eastern Kentucky is home to natural wonders many people do not realize are right in their own backyard. The Kentucky Geological Survey says Kentucky has more natural arches than any other eastern state, and many of them are accessible by trail. To encourage people to safely explore these sites, a geologist with UK has created a statewide trail map highlighting 40 arches in Kentucky. And for some, geologist Steve Martin is offering a special incentive.
If you hike to 20 of them and send me a picture, I will send you a sticker that reads, I hiked the Kentucky Arch Trail.
The map is designed to help people experience these features while also protecting a unique part of Kentucky's landscape. We have a link to the map and Martin's research up on our website, WYMT.com. Coming up, Wicked co-stars Ariana Grande and Jonathan Bailey are joining forces again. That and more in a look of today's Eye on Entertainment.
And we've got our eyes on this weekend as a system brings some chances for snow.